Vanessa, I'm taking those methylate blue strips and my tongue is blue. Oh! Can't do that. Can't do that. How's Maddie? Come on in the camera. You're looking so cute today. Look at Madison. We got sunshine today. Isn't that exciting?
Yes.
Because we've had a lot of snow this winter, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sound excited. What do you want to tell the people exciting today?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I'll follow you.
Okay. All right. Well, we are just joining together on this beautiful Thursday morning in Canada.
Yep.
Enjoying some sunshine.
Well, there is a breeze still.
There is a breeze. It is still a little bit cold, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It's April, or it's not April yet. It's March. It's going to be April. And we are going to have warm weather come.
Yep.
Aren't we?
Yep.
Yes. So we're just going to, we thought of a topic here kind of that continuing on kind of with Madison and what she feels comfortable talking about, right? With the autism and stuff, because you are special, you are chosen, you are limited edition. So we thought we'd just carry on and talk a little bit more about, we thought of the topic about Madison's workplace. So we kind of took some notes here. Workplace wins and challenges. Trusting God on the job.
Yep.
Right? Because in our wildest dreams, we didn't really think that you would ever be working full time, did you?
No.
Like, not for a long time. We thought it was so far down the road, right? Because you took a college course at St. Clair College, didn't you?
Yep.
And how long was that course?
2 years.
Oh, come on, get excited, Maddie. Goodness gracious. You need to swallow some rainbows. Okay, so number one thing, the job hunt, finding purpose in the process. So a lots of times there's a struggle with job searching when you're an adult autistic child. No, not a child anymore. You're an adult autistic person going through the applications and interview process, right? And the waiting. And the importance of praying for the right job and just not any job, because God's got a plan specifically for you, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So he has a job picked out specifically for Madison. And I've always, told her that growing up. Now, I didn't think she would get a job so early. So praise the Lord. God brought her a job, and that was very exciting.
That's not far either.
So you're not just applying for a job. You're stepping into what God has given you for your calling, right? So it's a bit of a big deal to make sure you're making the right decision, right? And of course, why don't you say this Bible verse? Because it's one of our favorite that we say a lot over here, don't we? Say where it's found.
Jeremiah 29:11.
Mm-hmm.
For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope in the future.
Woohoo! There you go. So he wants you to have a hope in the future. So when I was thinking about your job, specifically, I don't know if you want to tell that. How did you end up coming to Goodwill? How did that work?
Well, I had to do co-op for school.
Okay, we'll tell everybody that. So you ended up, we moved to Sarnia.
That too.
And you were looking for a co-op to finish your placement at school, correct?
Yeah.
So you applied to Goodwill.
Because it was closer.
It was closer. And how did that process go? You got your co-op there, didn't you?
Yeah, but the funny thing is, this is out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time I went for the interview, they completely forgot.
They completely forgot, and you were kind of really hesitant going back, weren't you? Because you're like, these people forgot my interview for the first time.
He felt bad, too. I
felt
remember
bad.
this older lady, and she's like, he's not here today. And I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm. I drove all this way.
I drove an hour.
We lived about an hour away, didn't we? Yes. So she went through that process, and she had an interview for her co-op originally to do your co-op placement for college, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So she got the placement. So you did your co-op there. And what kind of things did you do on your co-op?
It was just, the term that they use for this is a sales associate. So basically,
sales associate.
All you do is help with hangers, put clothes away, fitting rooms. So I did sort a couple times. I sorted a lot, but sometimes they had me do different things. Pulls.
So you're kind of a jack of all trades, weren't you?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know half the time what I was doing. So they
Did you work on the cash on your co-op? No.
Well, because technically you can't go on cash unless management specifically tells you somebody to help you with it.
Okay, so they have rules.
They have, like, you can't just go on cash without knowing what you're doing.
Right. So you did your co-op placement there. You learned lots of different areas when you were there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was helpful, right?
And it was only 5 hours a week for 4 days, but I mean, it's better than nothing.
5 hours a week for 4 days.
No, yeah. 9 to 2.
Right. So that's okay. That would be like part-time, right?
Yeah.
So you mastered your skills when you were there in your co-op, right? And then what happened at the end of your co-op?
Well, 2 days before, so my assistant manager actually had, I think I was just about to leave work.
Okay.
Well, co-op, I should say, not work.
Okay.
Different areas.
Okay.
I was just about to leave co-op, and then my assistant manager pulls me aside.
Okay. What did he say?
He pulls me into the office. He's like, "Hey, can I talk to you in the office for a minute?" I'm like, "Sure." So for me, the management office is like the principal's office at school.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know why he would call me into the office, because I'm like, did I do something? What did I do?
Mm-hmm.
Because again, it's like that principal's office.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked me, he's like, "How would you like to work here full time?" I'm thinking, what? It wasn't even his decision.
Okay. So what were you shocked?
Yeah, because it was the manager's decision.
Woo!
So the assistant manager, on request of the manager, had pulled me in, and he's like, "Hey, how would you like to work here full time?"
Wow, that was exciting. Hey?
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you totally shocked?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And then what happened after that?
I came to my mom, and she was picking me up, right? So I'm finishing co-op, and they're like, we have an interview. I don't know. What did I say?
So you were, for number one, you were late coming from co-op.
Because she was wondering why I was so
oh
late.
My goodness, she only has like 3 days left, and I don't want anything to happen. I want her to be able to finish this, get her co-op done, be able to graduate.
So I might have been like 10, 15 minutes later because they pulled me into the office.
Right. So when she got out to the car, she was late, and I was like, "Is everything okay?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "I think so." And I said, "Well, what happened? You're late." She goes, "Well, I got asked to come in the office." And I'm thinking, "Oh,
That's
no.
what I thought. I'm thinking,
Can we just get through to the end of the co-op?" Right? So anyway, I said, "So what's happening? Is everything okay? Was there a problem?"
Everything's fine.
And she's like, "Yeah, I think they want to hire me like for money." And I was just like, how does that work? Come on over there. You gotta be. So I'm thinking, okay, that's interesting. So she said, "I told them they had to talk to you though first." And
well, because she dumbs it down enough so that I can understand it.
so I kind of translate things for you.
Because it's a lot of like words, like especially when you're filling out paperwork for work. I have half the time I don't even know what that is, and she already does. So it just helps.
Yes. So what did we arrange for the next day?
An interview.
We arranged for an interview. So Madison was very articulate, and because sometimes she has problems with the data processing part.
It takes me sometimes longer, especially if I'm not familiar
right,
with
and
something.
she wants to make sure she understands it, correct?
Yeah.
So she asked them, she's like, "Is my mom able to come to the interview with me?" And they said, "Sure." Just move over your bum a little bit. So they said, "Sure." So the next day, we actually went to the interview together, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah. And so that was a positive experience. They were very kind. They were very intuitive to what you needed, wanting you to feel comfortable.
Because Goodwill is a corporation. This is kind of a bit of a history lesson. A little bit.
Yeah.
So
history lesson. Okay, you go give the history lesson. I'm going to tag some people in.
When Goodwill first founded, it was around the time of the war. So after the war was finished, people didn't... So whenever somebody was, let's say, disabled from the war, like they might have been hurt, injured, or even just they're not able to do things like they normally would.
Mm-hmm.
So this one guy had the great idea to found Goodwill. So just like Goodwill is today, they had people that were disabled, but it helped them find work so that they could still feel like they're doing something.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And give them a purpose.
That too.
Right? So how fantastic is that? So it's a really good thing, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that work there that maybe have different, things that they struggle with, but they have a plan and a purpose, and
that's
they
part of
cater
the
to
reason
that.
why they're so intuitive to people, because they have different types of people. I don't know if types is the right word.
Well, it's just unique to, it's just like any workplace. There's
Yeah.
always different unique people, right?
Like there's different cultures within the workplace, and
Right.
then there's some that
Right.
need a little bit more help than
That's right. So it's a
and
really
so on.
mixed community, isn't it?
That's the word I'm looking
Right,
for.
mixed community. So number 2 was workplace challenges, navigating through a neurotypical world. So how does Madison handle communication struggles, social cues, and unexpected changes at work?
It takes a bit.
And we talked about advocating for yourself, because God made you unique and your purpose is unique. So, I just wanted to touch on those points. So you've had to learn through communication struggles, haven't you?
Yeah.
Right. And that's been something difficult, but as you're growing up, you've been able to, learn that and master that, right? She's so preoccupied here. And you've got better with communication,
I don't necessarily have to
You've got
communicate either. Sometimes it's just a matter of, I don't know, this is weird.
right. And you have some of the older ladies at work that have been there for a while. That are like grandmas. That are kind of like mamas, aren't they?
Yeah.
That watch out with you, or they help coach you.
Like some of them know when I'm having a little bit of a rough day.
Right.
So they just kind of let me be. They let me work. They don't
Right.
interfere. They just, okay, like I noticed that she's not 100%. Like I asked one of the ladies that I got to know really well, I asked her, I said, how do you know if I'm having a bad day? Just out of randomness.
And what did they say?
You're not as happy as you
You're
usually
not
are.
as happy as you usually are. So you're not, laughing and smiling, and because you're usually very bubbly and overjoyed, aren't you? So you have people there that you can ask, and that's really helps
and they
you.
kind of back off. Like, I have this one coworker has actually an autistic grandson, and she kind of knows, okay, and this other older lady as well, but they know when to just leave me be, and I'll approach them when I feel like it. Like, they won't push me to talk to them. Like, they'll just kind of be like, okay.
And that's
I'm backing
cool,
off.
right?
Yeah.
So she's got a great support team at work, right? So it's not like you feel like you're dumped there all alone. Hey, Sheila, thanks for joining us. It's not like you're dumped there all alone.
But also, this one older lady was the one
Love you,
that
girl.
told me that the assistant manager wasn't in.
Well, but so you have this, you have people that you can go to that you can trust, that watch out for you. Hey, doctor. Say hey, Maddie.
Hi.
Hey. So it's been a real positive experience, because you've learned to grow in your communication struggles and your social cues, because just interacting with other staff, right?
Yeah.
So happy she does. And other customers coming in, right? And that's been a learning curve.
I've
right?
never
Because
seen so many people in one place.
it is a busy place, isn't it?
Surprisingly, yeah.
Yeah, it is a busy place. So you've had to learn kind of to interact with customers that could come in and say anything at all, right? So
Some
you've
can
had
be,
to
it
learn.
could be on both ends of the stick.
Yeah, so you had to learn kind of that happy medium, and that you're always nice, but you have to be professional. Madison loves to give hugs, and she always has been a hugger. So I've always had to teach her growing up that some people are not comfortable with that. So you might need to ask them if they, can I give you a hug? And, some people will say yes or no, right? Because some people are okay or not okay with that. They'll let you know, right? But then there's some kind of problematic customers that come in, and you've learned to navigate.
Keep my mouth shut.
Well, that actually is a good like when you're not sure, it is good to just keep quiet, keep doing your work, and
sometimes I don't even talk to customers when I ring them through.
Let somebody from management to handle it, right?
Sometimes I don't even talk to customers when I'm ringing them through because I don't feel like.
But you've learned the power of advocating for yourself. And sometimes it's really awkward, but you've learned how to speak up for Madison, right? You know what, my thing, I was so excited when you first started going there and working. I was so excited to go in shopping and hear Madison on the loudspeaker.
Oh, I've never
Housewares to the front counter, please, for a price tag. Housewares, and I'm like, ah! I can't believe this, because this is someone that actually, like, she wouldn't even answer her cell phone if I called her. She wouldn't even.
I still don't sometimes.
Yeah, she does not like to speak like that. So when I heard her on the loudspeaker, I'm like, oh, this is huge. She is working through this.
As long as I don't hear myself, I'm okay.
Anyway, so encouragement is you don't have to fit into the box. God created you as limited edition. So it's almost like God created us limited edition. So he can also create the box that we're in of what we do, whatever skills we have. I am a hugger, hard for me to learn as well. So much healing in hugs.
But there is
so much healing in hugs, isn't it?
Actually, speaking of hugs,
there
was this one older lady. I was just kind of sorting in the back because that day I was told to sort. So I'm sorting in the back. All of a sudden, this older lady comes in crying.
Oh.
Like, you couldn't, like, there was no stopping of the crying. Like, she was...
Oh. Hey, Lorna!
So sad that the first person...
And what did you do, Madison?
No, you gotta give me a second.
Oh, okay, sorry.
The first person that she comes over to is me.
Aww.
Because, like, she just needed a hug. Not just one of those flimsy hugs. Like, good job. Like, she always says, I always love your hugs because they're not, what's the word?
They're not weak and wimpy.
They're like a bear hug. They're
like
hard.
A bear hug. They're not weak and wimpy. They're like, I want to get you and I'm going to love on you.
Well, and she had come over and I gave her like a hug that I normally do. And it probably took a few minutes, but you could tell
Margie,
she was...
Thanks for joining us.
And the thing about me is, when I see people like that, I don't like it.
Because you really have a compassionate side, don't you? So
I just hate seeing people.
You want to help
crying.
them. You want to nurture that. And you want to love them, right?
Yeah.
I think that's why you like me shopping in there too. You like Mom coming in because I'll talk to everybody. I'll love on everybody. I'm hugging everybody. I'm visiting with everyone. And Madison, I can just see her and she'll be putting her racks away and doing her work and she'll just keep looking over at me and smiling, and you just love that, don't you?
And Jean, like, yeah, like it's...
Not fake, that's right,
it just,
doctor.
Like...
Genuine, Maddie. A lot of love in your hugs, Lorna says. And the doc is the same. She likes to give hugs.
Because of, like, it just made me feel good that, like, she comes to me first. She doesn't come to anybody else. And people were looking at me like,
she knows who has the heart, right? That's awesome. Okay, so the verse we had written in there was Psalms 139:14. I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. So God did not make any mistakes when he made us. He made us all unique.
You're not duplicated, you know.
That's right. We are one of a kind,
aren't we? That too.
What is the thing that you say about don't be an original, don't die a copy?
Be an original, don't die a copy.
Be an original, don't die a copy. Be who God created you to be, right, Maddie? And enjoy it, embrace it. Okay, so number 3 was sensory overload and work stress.
Oh.
Keeping peace in the chaos. So I think this happens to like a lot of people, not just autistic adults, but this is a big thing that we have to work at, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. How Madison manages workplace overwhelm. So the noise, the lights, the talking too much, the talking too loud. I know when I've been in there before, there's kids coming in that are screaming. You know, sometimes parents aren't watching the kids and they grab the toys and they get going crazy and it's like, oh. So I think it's like fair to say that, oh, hi, Vanessa. She's from Wales. We're going to be seeing her soon. She says, hi, Maddie. You can say hi, Maddie.
Oh, hi.
Say hi. So anyway, so those are all things that it's a constant, constant battle kind of really for you to combat that, right? So Madison, because I'm kind of like a little bit of a health nut, I've researched things, and there's all sorts of things that we've done for Madison that can help her with that. So she wears, she has these socks that help, through technology, it helps reset the neurotransmitters in her brain. She wears patches that...
You're talking fancy now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So she wears these patches that really help her be calm, and it kind of helps your stem cells for the body to heal itself. So wherever your body needs help, it goes there. So some of these little things that we've done for Madison really helps her concentration, her anxiety, just to help her be calm and troubleshoot the best way as possible. Some of my autistic people at work struggle with loud noise, anything being dropped, loud voices are yelling. Yes!
Yeah, sometimes, like, you'll hear glass breaking, which is loud. Anybody can hear it. But it's so far away that you're like, okay. And you learn to distinct the noises between a glass break or just something bounced off a shelf.
And what are your best calm down hacks that you've learned to keep
Music.
Music? Okay. And they usually have music on there, so you can kind of focus on that.
And also just...
saying a little prayer.
That too, but you also have to learn to zone out too.
You have to learn to zone out. Well,
I
think teenagers are pretty good at that.
Well, not zone out, I mean zone in.
Zone in. Okay, so you're focusing on
the task at hand instead of everything else.
Because Madison is a rule follower. So
I like that.
If you have, no, it's good. Because if you have an assignment like, okay, I need you to put away these 3 racks, then your focus goes to, I need to put away these 3 racks.
So I actually have like
zoning out on the other.
So one of my supervisors, when I was alone the one night with her, she told me kind of what the most important was to the least important. So
okay, and that helps you chunk it out then.
I still use it to this day.
Praise the
even
Lord.
If there's a lot of people there, even if there's 4 of us, I know, okay, cash comes first, and then fitting room rack, and then floor and racks.
Okay, so that there is such a good life lesson for everybody. So
you have
Angel.
Like, I still use it because...
But that's good to know. Like, okay, number 1, I have to go to cash.
Yeah.
Right?
Because customers come first, no matter what you do.
Right. So sometimes in life, we need to know, okay,
you need plan A, B, and C.
What are my top 3 things today? And, lots of times, like, I'll write down in my daytime or every day, what are my top 3 things to do today? What do I need to get done? What do I need to be working on if I get those top 3 things done? Because that's so important to help us keep our focus, right? Because... I'm sure at work you could get sidetracked on a lot of things, right? Especially when all those little kids come in shopping. They're all playing with the toys. They're all as noisy as anything. And the mom just goes off shopping and leaves them back in the toys shopping. That makes sense, Maddie. They will do well with phone headsets.
But when you're working, some workplaces, actually all workplaces, like mine specifically,
they're cracking down on using a phone, right? Because so many people abuse that and are checking their phone. Because I know for years, Madison wore the noise-canceling headphones. Now, I've adopted these. When I'm doing my writing every day at home, I use the noise-canceling headphones, and I find that really helpful. And she found that helpful for a season when, through growing up.
Now I just learned to drown it out.
Yeah, so you can hone in and practice that skill, and you become really good at it, right? Anyway, so just the encouragement was you're not alone. God goes with you into that, wherever it is. Office, factory, Tim Hortons, restaurant, shopping, Goodwill, wherever it is, he is with you and he is for you. Exodus 33:14, my presence will go with you and I will give you rest. So we always say, Madison, don't worry, God is for you.
Yeah.
And the last thing we had is growing in confidence and stepping into who God has made you to be. So, as we get older, and especially with Madison, you never dreamed of being here, right?
No.
So, we were in COVID. It was lockdown. It was crazy.
I was lucky to even get home from school.
So she decided, okay, there was a college program that she would go into, and she enrolled in that, and she did awesome, and she was such...
But I wasn't always at Goodwill for co-op, though, either.
No, you had a different co-op in the other city that we lived in, and you did amazing at that. And that also was a retail store, but...
A lot of my volunteer experience was also retail, though.
Yes, and you were very good at organizing...
detail-oriented,
tidying up, organizing, sorting, customer service. You're always very kind to people. And with Madison, even at Goodwill, she has people that will come back because she is there, because of her kindness, because of her love, that, we had to be Jesus with skin on, right? Like, so I always say, it should...
Even if you had to bite your tongue.
Out of us, right? And because sometimes we are the only Jesus that people will see, right? They need to see a real person acting like a real Christian, showing real love, right? To make a difference in their life, because sometimes that might be all that person gets. And because of you being consistently like that with them, it can start changing their attitude, their mind,
Hurt people hurt people.
Yeah, we had a big conversation about that this week, didn't we, Madison?
We're not getting into that, though.
No, we won't. And we're on the last point, and I know she's like ticking a boo here. But hurt people hurt people. I remind her that, sometimes if somebody says something to us and, or a coworker or a customer, right?
Yeah.
Smile, Maddie. It's not so bad. But it's hard sometimes, because sometimes in our humanness we will take offense to that. And I've always tried to teach Madison, try to remember you don't know what that person went through beforehand. We've all had bad days.
People could take it out on you, but it has nothing to do with you.
Right. So just remember that when somebody is hurt, when somebody has walked through something and they've had a struggle and they're hurt, sometimes they tend to hurt other people, not even knowing they're doing it. But just like Madison's love and compassion exudes from her and sneaks out of her everywhere she goes, it's the same with a hurt person, right? So that hurt person overspills and they hurt other people, not even really knowing it, right? Man, we have a mailroom on base. They would love her. Aw. So, growing in confidence. Smile, Maddie. Look at up here. Look at the people. You're not looking at them. You're focusing too much on her notes. Say, hey, everybody, how y'all? Maybe somebody has a question for you. Maybe ask to see if anybody has a question. Anybody have a question for Maddie that they would like an answer or like her to share something? Anyway, growing in confidence.
Put it somewhere in there.
Stepping into who God made you to be. Right? Because that's what Madison is just in the middle of being catapulted to, right? Working on her book.
Catapulted is a strong word.
Catapulted is a strong word, but it's true though. You're
You're
launching, right? Oh, look at these lovely bracelets I have on my website. And I'm hoping to get some glasses dropping soon. So, but you're being catapulted and you're being launched to where God has you to go, right?
Yeah.
And it's like all this is kind of like practice, and you're getting better coping techniques and how to deal with stress and anxiety and different customer. Like I said to her, it doesn't matter if you're working at Goodwill, if you're working in the church, where you're working, there's always temperamental people. There are always people that will get upset, will be happy, will be mad, will be crying, will be laughing, whatever, right? We deal with all walks of people in whatever area of life that we're working in, right? So how Madison has grown in her job, she has learned, and what do you love about working? What do you love about it?
I don't know.
Well, I think you love seeing the people. I think you love
seeing the one lady at work.
She loves this one lady at work that's become like her grandma, right?
My work grandma.
Her work grandma. And
she knows it too.
Loves to get there and give her a hug on her and find out what's going on in her life. And it's great.
She calls me every now and again, which just...
Yes, she does, doesn't she? So that's really cool. So there's things that you've grown to know that, wow, I never thought I would be able to do that, or I never thought I would be in that situation to be able to the outcome be this, right?
Yeah.
But you've just stretched yourself and you've learned to, develop your skills, right?
Yeah.
And what you can do. And look at you now on the cash register.
Sure.
Like when they said they wanted to hire for cash, I'm thinking, okay, well, that'll be
Although
interesting.
the funny thing is they thought I wouldn't have a position until October.
Yeah, so you started early, so that was cool, right?
Yeah.
So being different is a superpower, not a weakness, is what we've talked about so many times. So Madison, instead of it being a liability, it's a total asset because God is giving her such unique abilities. She has a photographic memory. She can remember things and recall things. And if she's seen something over in the far corner to the left on the third shelf, she'll remember where it is, where the price is, and she can be able to go get that for somebody. And that's just something that she's always had, right? So it's special, unique superpower ability that she has that I don't have, right?
Yeah.
You can do lots of things that I can't do and vice versa because God's made us all different, right?
Yeah.
So no matter what challenges you're coming and going, God is here to cheer you on, so keep going, right? Is that what you'd say to the people?
Yeah. Keep moving forward, never step backward. When you step once backward, take 2 steps forward.
When you step once backwards, take 2 steps forward. Cool. Anything else? No? This is a good verse. We love Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So, that was my prayer, especially when Madison started, because here she is. She's starting a full-time job, and, you were just out of college, so I think you were like, what, 20?
Yeah, sure. 2020.
Yeah, and that was something I never dreamed of her doing so soon, but I was so proud of her. But I always had to keep encouraging her that, God has this plan for you, Madison. And Jeremiah 29:11, Jeremiah 29:11, God's plans are good, but also reminding her that with God, she can do all things, right? And, that is such an important thing for us all to remember. That with God, all things are possible. And look at your life. It's like the song, little is much when God is in it. So when God is in it, you're living proof that look at where you are now. So is there anything funny at work that you wanted to share or anything like that? No?
Although this is just me. So the one day I was doing wares.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of funny because I didn't realize this.
Okay.
Thankfully, this coworker laughed with me instead of being like,
it's
"Why'd
nice,
you do that?"
It's nice when people laugh with you, isn't it?
No, so I was doing wares and I found this Nerf gun in a tote. I went to pick it up, accidentally triggered it, and it shot all the way across somebody's head.
Out in the store?
No!
Oh, in the back room.
Oh, but I felt so bad, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. And then, I didn't even know where it went. It just went off in the one direction because I accidentally triggered it.
Aww.
And she's like, it's okay. Luckily, it didn't hit me in the head.
So, and you know what? So that's something too that's different for you too is learning to have fun in a work environment. So although the work is a different environment, it's very structured and there's rules and there are things that they expect from you, right? Yep. But it's also been a very positive for you to establish in relationships, in social skills, because a lot of autistic people have a hard time with social skills, right?
Yep. So
that's been a real positive for you to kind of meet those people, have a relationship with your work employees, and have fun like that, like that time in the back room.
I just happened recently too. I think it was last week.
Oh, really? Anyway, so we just kind of got on today for a little bit of a babble about Madison's work and how proud we are of her, and how God has just catapulting her into new things. We've got so many things brewing for the next year that are going to be changing in our lives, and things that we're going to be dropping, and things that we're pushing forward, and businesses and different ideas. And you know what? Maddie's going to be a part of all that. And you know what? God has created us unique and special for such a time as this, right, Maddie?
Yep.
So Madison has got lots of things coming up. Myself and Mister have lots of things coming up. Yes, we do.
Okay.
And like I said, she's working on her book this afternoon, so that'll be exciting when that drops. And, then there's so many things after that, the kids' line of books, and, there's this process to go through that we have to do certain things first. So, but it's just exciting because there's so many things that are coming down the pipe, and God is so good. and he is blessing us so much. And we want to thank you all for supporting us and for loving us. Come on in the camera, Matt.
I'm in the camera.
Let them see that beautiful, beautiful top with all the colors. I love it. Reminds me of Joseph's. I wore my coat of many colors. Oh. So I'm sorry. I take these blue strips, this methylite stuff. So I'm sorry, my tongue is blue. If you see it, I'm not losing it. I am healthy, and there are health benefits to that. So we are heading out now. We're going to meet Grandma and Grandpa, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we're heading out to meet Grandma and Grandpa, and then she's going to go and work on her book. But we wanted to come on because it's Thursday, so it's Maddie and Mom Day. And you know what? If you have any topics that you'd like to hear Madison talk about, drop it in the chat, pop me a message, and you know what? We'd be happy to see her do that and keep stretching herself and be everything that God wants her to be, because you are amazing just the way you are. Hey? So you say bye to everybody. So proud of you, me. Thank you, Anna. I am so proud of her too. She's come such a long way, and she's got so many things to be thankful for. And look what God's done in your life. Hey? And she's super excited because she got a VIP ticket to the Real Talk Kim conference in June. That's okay. Is everything a secret? Okay, so we're going to sign off, and we're going to love y'all, and we'll see you soon. And have a happy Thursday.